So I would emphasize bottom-up development, not top-down. So I call it Delhi-driven development is the top-down development versus bottom-up village-driven development. And this is, of course, Mahatma Gandhi's vision, and that is absolutely still valid for India. Because it's a universal principle. I mean, that we can do better when people are closer to development. So that is actually important, that bottom-up development is important. And so I would say empower the rural areas, empower the small towns, empower the cities, and set up governance that is stronger at those levels. And make sure that the feedback loops are in place. And that means that what is happening in the ground level, the decision makers have to have accurate feedback loops. And today that is actually often missing, where people don't have that. Policymakers don't get enough feedback often. So that is important. And I'll give you one example of a kind of reform that I would suggest. Today, if you look at our IAS, which is a strong administrative foundation for India, the district collector job is kind of the lower in the totem pole, while Chennai or Delhi jobs are much more prestigious, correct, in this. I want to reverse it. The district collector job should be the more prestigious job, because that's where the action is, that's where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
That's where real administration has to happen, right? The higher levels set policy, but this is where the implementation, execution is happening. And so we need smart people, and we also need tenure. See, the one problem is district collectors change every couple of years. And that's not actually conducive for learning about the area, its problems, and how to solve it, what is needed, all of those. Before somebody actually has properly learned all this, we change them. And so it's the complicated problems remain, and the next person has to start all over. So even with the best of intentions, this is not a good system. So we need administrative reforms where smart people stay in a particular job for a duration to make a difference. This is exactly what we do in companies like Zoho. We actually, when we have a Zoho product, there's stay a duration to get the job done. We don't change engineers every year or every 2 years. That's not a good way to produce these products. In fact, I mentioned the R&D problem. This is a critical insight about R&D and skill or know-how development, that people have to stay on that problem. We have to invent this robotic spooling machine for textiles. Well, I need a commitment of 5 to 10 years to make that machine, to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah, then if that is true for machines, it's even more true for a district. That people have to have the know-how. It's a lot more complex problem, yet we shift decision makers every 2 years. That's the problem.
Right.